I feel kind of bad for talking negatively about Doom the Dark Ages, since it is a way higher quality game than most titles that are released in the AAA industry nowadays. And yet, I just can't help but feel disappointed by this game. My obsession with Doom started with Doom 2016 after I watched Olivia's Here video where he played the game in the background, so I just decided to buy it and try it out. It didn't take long for me to recognize that it was just absolute peak, and I became so obsessed with Doom that I couldn't stop talking about it to everyone I knew. Then when Doom Eternal came out, a whole new world opened up for me. Although I didn't start my YouTube channel until a month after the game's release, it still made a huge impact on me and made me fanboy even harder. After a couple of months, they released the first DLC, which I loved to death. It was the base game cranked up to 11 and it was incredible. The greatest DLC I've played to this day. Well, maybe the Elden Ring one was actually a little bit better, but it doesn't matter, okay? It was a great DLC. However, a year after the game's release, they released The Ancient Gods Part 2. This DLC pissed me off so much, I made a video screaming into my mic about it, insulting the developers and honestly being a bit unfair about the game's flaws. But you know, they rushed the story, the difficulty was much lower, and they nerfed the Ancient Gods 1 as well, just because people were complaining that it was too hard. But what pissed me off even more was little stuff like warnings before activating gore nests, or the campaign tutorial whenever you start a new game that always appears even after already beating the game. So I guess that when it came to Doom the Dark Ages, I should have seen that the writing was already on the wall. I remember Hugo Martin saying something about expanding on the mechanics of the Ancient Gods 2, and if I remember that correctly, it is exactly what happened. The entire gameplay loop revolves around your shield. Parrying, shield bashing, hurling it toward demons to break their armor, whatever. It's the core of the gameplay, and while that isn't a problem in of itself, I still don't like it. It makes the gameplay feel incredibly basic and just not interesting in the slightest. All you're doing constantly is parrying, then shield bashing, and then shooting your gun in between. Like, okay? Oh, sorry, I forgot you're also weaving through other projectiles that you cannot parry. So sorry, I forgot about that, guys. So sorry. Anyway, it isn't helped by the fact that there is almost no reason whatsoever to switch weapons. The entire game becomes child's play as soon as you unlock the super shotgun, which has an upgrade that near instantly breaks armor, so you can literally just break through it all. It one-shots Hell Knights, it one-shots Arachnotrons, who knows what else it fucking one-shots in this game. It can one-shot so many things, it is ridiculous. And when an Arachnotron, for example, has armor, just shoot the Arachnotron once, the armor breaks, and then shoot it again, and it's dead. Sure, Doom Eternal had ways to really quickly get rid of demons too, but this is literally just shooting them twice. Well, Hump, in Doom Eternal, if you shoot the Arachnotron with a super shotgun twice, they die too. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Moving on, another thing that pisses me off is the weapon variety. For example, you get the plasma rifle in the form of the Accelerator, a terrible piece of shit weapon that is replaced by the Cycler 2 or 3 levels later. What is the point of the Accelerator now? I'm sure there's an upgrade that makes it useful, but I didn't bother checking because you can beat the entire game with just a super shotgun. The same problem applies to the grenade launcher and rocket launcher, pulverizer and ravager, and I suppose the combat shotgun too, because that instantly becomes irrelevant as soon as you unlock the super shotgun. I'm sure the grenade launcher and pulverizer have their uses after you unlock their superior counterparts, but again, there was no reason for me to bother checking. I beat this game on Nightmare difficulty at 150% speed with none of my weapons upgraded besides my super shotgun and shield. Seriously? I didn't even have to bother upgrading anything else. No reason for me to explore the map, find upgrades, etc. Nothing? And I'm not saying that there isn't any tech for this game that makes the gameplay more fun or interesting. I'm saying that there's no reason for me to learn any of it unless I maybe put all the sliders on the maximum difficulty. Although, I feel like I'd still be able to beat the game with just an upgraded super shotgun and shield. Now, the melee combat. It's actually kind of fun. And when I say melee combat, I mean close quarter fights with cyber demons, Agadon hunters, and Hell Knights, etc. It's a fun back and forth that is actually a little bit challenging at 150 speed, although I feel like it's going to get repetitive very, very soon. Then there are the mech and dragon sections. I don't care what anyone says, these are unnecessary gimmick levels that just aren't all that fun. Actually, they were interesting the first time, but after that, I just grew bored of them. The skill is incredible, but the gameplay is even more basic and boring than the core combat, with the only reason I ever died being that I got impatient thanks to it being so goddamn slow. Even at 150% speed, the mech and dragon sections are unbearable. I believe the game would greatly benefit cutting these out where possible as an option. Now, I know that Hugo Martin is a big fan of mechs, so I am kind of glad that he got to put his kink in the game, but I don't know, man. I just don't like it. The gameplay just isn't all that fun. All you do is punch and dodge. And the same goes for the dragon, except you shoot and dodge instead. So, you know, also you fly around big city. Fun. Cool, I guess. The music is another mixed bag that I don't care for. There is only one track I remember, and it's the one shown in the very first reveal trailer of the game. Maybe if you morons hadn't tainted your relationship with Mick Gordon, we still could have gotten Peak. And even if Mick Gordon didn't make the soundtrack, there are still people like Andrew Halsholt and David Levy, both great artists that would have done this game a far greater service than finishing Move. Now, on a more positive note, the graphics look really good, the physics are great, and the story is actually somewhat entertaining. Generally, the game has an incredible sense of skill not found in other Doom games. Yesterday, a friend of mine actually described my thoughts perfectly. Everything about the game is great, except for the core combat, gimmick sections, and music. Now, maybe I'm just a Doom Eternal fanboy that can't accept when a new entry in a franchise plays differently, but I think this game's issues run far, far deeper than that. I won't say that I didn't have fun with the game, because I did. The gameplay finally clicked for me in the Cosmic Realm, and my 150% speed playthrough was incredibly fun. But it's just missing a certain spark that Doom Eternal always had. Even the Ancient Gods Part 2 had a spark that is sorely missing here, but I just can't quite put my finger on it. Anyway, that's pretty much my review. The game is great, but I'm still incredibly disappointed by it. I'm glad a lot of people are enjoying it though, but it's just not for me. I'll continue making videos on it since I do think it's still like fun enough to play, but if I had to choose, I would have rather gotten another sort of Eternal or 2016. Well, that's it. If there's anything else you want me to talk about regarding Dark Ages, like if you want to know my opinion about certain stuff, just ask and I'll reply in the comments, or at least I'll try to reply to as much as possible. But yeah, that's my opinion of the game. Let me know in the comments what your opinion of the game is, and maybe we can discuss our opinions together. We can make a final stand together if you maybe agree with my opinions, which is possible. It is possible that you agree with my opinions. However, it is also possible that you disagree with my opinions. Everything is possible. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching and fuck off.